Hello, and how's it going today? And I got to say, wow, what a movie I just seen. Like, it's actually one of my favorites as well. This could be the first ever time I had to rate a movie the same amount of times consecutively in a row. I think it's the third movie in a row, which could be one of my favorites again. I mean, it's sensational. It's an action movie I've been dying to watch for quite a while now. I never had the chance to until now, which is great. And that movie is called John Wick Chapter 1. I know I'm late to the party, basically, by the way, but better late than never. But at least I'm doing it now so I can talk about it on YouTube. Now, I may have to. This will contain spoilers, guys. I do talk about the whole movie, or most of the movie, on YouTube. So please watch the movie first and watch my video. If not, you can watch my video first, watch my review, and see if you think it's the same on the movie wise. But I probably won't go through everything in the movie at the moment because there's a lot to talk about. But it basically starts off as John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves. If you don't know who Keanu Reeves is, he played Neo in The Matrix. Brilliant actor, sensational, right? That's why I had to watch it. I don't think I would have watched it otherwise in that case, but let's continue it. It starts off with John Wick, um, outside of a car, outside a vehicle, whatever, right? And he's injured. Now, I was wondering why he got injured like that straight away, and he was watching a recording of his wife that got killed by some gangsters and whatnot. So if you haven't got the hint already, he's a retired hitman coming out of retirement to actually, kill the gangsters that actually murdered his wife and whatnot. So it's like a revenge thing. And then he gets like a dog from as a present from his wife or something like that. Don't know how it worked. And then these men start asking for his car, and they wonder how much his car is and stuff like that. And then later on they start breaking in, and they actually kill his dog and injure him to steal the car. And yet one of the guys is actually the son of like a boss called Vigo. I'll later talk about it in the movie later on. And this guy in the shop starts saying, "You, what do you mean? You did this to him? You don't know who that is? That's John Wick's car," and stuff like that. And obviously he plots to get revenge on these people. And then Vigo, wants to have a contract just to take him out. Basically, he gets this guy called Marcus to do it. I think his name, yeah, Marcus, who John Wick saw at the cemetery. Basically, I think they're good friends and stuff like that. There's a lot to go through in this movie, so I'm gonna have to do it as simple as possible. I don't want my videos to be too long. And there's one of my favorite scenes is when, these people start breaking into the house, and start breaking into his house and start like the John Wick starts shooting them up and stuff like that. That's one of my favorite scenes. I love scenes like that where the protagonist you think is outnumbered and you think he can't take care of it, whereas at the end he starts taking them all out. That's one of my favorite scenes, basically. And he starts finding them, and it's bloody a lot to go through in this one. And then he finds these people at the nightclub. These three dudes are actually broke into his home and stole his car and just actually killed his dog basically. And this is another good scene though. This is another great scene in the movie where he starts like taking out all these enemies and he starts taking revenge. He didn't get the son though. I've forgotten the son's name now. He didn't get the son's name, but he got the other dudes out at that club, and they start shooting him or that start shooting, but he gets all them back, and there's like a woman starts coming in, and the woman does come in though that I think he met at the reception desk in a hotel or something like that. I'm doing it as simple as I can, hopefully, and I got to say like the action in this movie is brilliant. And you really feel for the character. Like it's like that movie Silent Night where you actually feel for the character and you actually. I guarantee if anyone's got any loved ones to something like this, you would want revenge too, as I explained. Like it makes me feel for the character. It makes me want to actually take revenge myself on people that did wrong to me as well. And yeah, it's just a quite phenomenal movie. Sorry, nose is a bit runny. It's quite a phenomenal. It's quite a phenomenal movie in terms of storyline, dialogue, the music as well, and it puts me in his shoes as well in terms of like what him want to avenge his wife's death and stuff. I can't understand that. And then in this scene, as soon as like this guy was about to take him out, I think this guy, yeah, he's obviously Marcus. He got told by Vigo to actually kill John Wick for $2 million. But then then Marcus sees someone in his hotel room after he starts, shooting up the club, like to get rid of all the enemies in the club, and he starts shooting them. He starts like misfiring, and he misses him as he was lying down in his hotel bed, his hotel room. And this woman starts coming in, and it was all been a setup, obviously. You could tell during the end. I thought something fishy was going on there, and his friend Marcus, like, was always on his side and stuff like that. And yeah, this movie is just brilliant, man. I can't say this is it's my favorite movie now, seriously, because of the actor in it as well. And then he also there's other scenes in like fighting as well where John Wick is I think, yeah, he's held hostage because I think he was blown up, the place and stuff like that. Like he went to this like heavily armed area and starts shooting things up and starts shooting the guards and stuff like that in this area where this Vigo is based at, and he starts to blowing up all these cars. And then he actually shoots his son. Like, he shoots Vigo's son death because his son was the one that killed his dog and attacked him. I can't understand that. He should have done that at the club. He shouldn't have let the son escape. I would have shot him straight up anyway if I was him. And he eventually, I guess, tied up to a chair. And then Vigo was like, and he started in good dialogue. He said, "I've been answering that question for ages if I'm back or not, but it looks like I am." He didn't say that part, but that's what he should have said. And then this guy said it's just a dog. I wouldn't say that to anybody's pet. I've never thought like that my entire life. I would have knocked him out through and through. And then as soon as Vigo and his I think his associate, I don't know what you call him, the guy that's always with his Vigo dude. And then I would have said to him, "Well, your son did deserve it too. I would have done it over and over again. I should have shot him more times." That's what he should have said. And then as soon as like he was about to get suffocated to death, Marcus comes in with a sniper and starts sniping this dude. And then that was a really great moment, right? I kind of enjoyed that part in particular. He got said, you think, oh, the protagonist is going to die from something. It never does. It's kind of obvious that was going to happen. And he starts like going to this church. It's like kind of like a safe house, like a vault in a church. And he shoots some people up in a church as well. That's part of that gang. And he tells all he's all this money in the vault, and it's all that, I think it's dirty money. I probably would have taken some of it personally, but I can see why he would want to set it on fire, which is probably the right thing to do. And he walked away. And then there was this other scene where Marcus basically goes into like his house. I think his house, something like that, and the guards are there. And Vigo comes in and says to John, "Look, I got your friend. This is for what happened to my son." And then Marcus is killed basically. And this woman actually came into the scene, and I was like, "Wait, this was a whole setup the entire time. Should he not be blaming her for putting Marcus or shooting the dude? Maybe Marcus did that deliberately. That's probably what it was anyway." And he starts, and then John Wick obviously, towards the end part before he kills Vigo, he sees like these ass cars and stuff like that, and then starts like running the cars off and starts shooting them up and stuff. It's really a great movie though. It's a lot to get into. So please, like, if you said you forgot to mention this part, I apologize because this movie is a lot to explain, right? And I love movies like this. It's a lot for me to talk about. And then him and Vigo have this like standoff. The protagonist and the main antagonist always like have a standoff, like a duel at the end. There wasn't much of a fight scene as I was hoping for in that scene. I was really disappointed that there was not much of a fight scene. But I'm glad that, they did have some sort of standoff. I mean, to be honest, I usually show them straight up, but why would you go through all that fight and all that like punch up? Just taking a beam or shoot or something. There wasn't much. For a gangster boss, he didn't really do much. John Wick, all he had to do, he just handled that flawlessly. Even when he was allowing Vigo to stab him, he's like, oh goodness. And he still managed to get him back. And he got him on the shoulder right there with the knife. And I just ended. I don't know how he managed it. I know he died there anyway. But I've got to say, it's a phenomenal movie. This movie, for me, has everything I love in a movie, technically. I was going to say it's kind of watching The Matrix, but there was no scenes like that anyway. So, and I'm pretty sure he's in the other John Wick movies. Yeah, it was a sensation movie. It's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. It's up there with Silent Night. I think it's one of my first favorite. There's other favorite movies I have, so I can't say it's exactly the first. There could be something better than this. But God say this is the tip of the iceberg. This is just chapter 1. There's 3 other chapters. How is the next chapter going to be? I don't know. But this one, I love this one because of how, it makes me feel for the dude. It makes me want to actually be in his shoes and actually help people that did wrong to me as well. We all feel like that. That's what makes his That's what makes his character. This one. That's what makes him. Like this is a beautiful movie, especially like it satisfies you to see that the enemies die from this. Like it's satisfying. It's satisfying basically. And the story and dialogue. He's been always been a sensational actor. I should start watching a lot of movies he's in now. Brilliant actor. And I gotta say, this movie has to be a 10 out of 10. You can't tell me this movie's trash because I can't find any faults with this either. Yes, I could. I was gonna give it a 9 because I was like, is there gonna be much action in this? Well, it turns out there was just as much action as I wanted there to be. So it was a brilliant movie, 10 out of 10. I think that's the first time I did 3 movies in a row and I rated it 10 out of 10. That's history making right there. If that's 10 out of 10, what are the other ones going to be? Hopefully, chapter 2 won't disappoint. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, share with everybody you know, subscribe and hit the bell notification below. I shall see you in my next video.